there, I'm Melissa Batt, the host of Priorities on Purpose, a podcast for overwhelmed direct sellers who want to grow their income, audience, and influence without sacrificing their mental health and main priorities. Whether you're just starting a new adventure or you're 15 years in and have already climbed the ranks, I want to help you have the life and the business of your dreams. Can you see it? Can you feel it? Or maybe you thought you had it and something changed. Whether you have your entire dream mapped out or have completely given up on all the possibilities, I'm here to remind you that God is bigger than the little box we put him in. This side gig is part of his plan. It's not your sole purpose, but it absolutely has purpose. As a Christian life and business coach, I'm here to help you get out of your head and live with intention so you can enjoy what matters most without the guilt. More time to do what you love, more peace, more impact, more money, and opportunities to give to those you want to help. I promise to be your hype girl, business bestie, and biggest cheerleader as I share proven and simple strategies that will be sure to help you live a fulfilled life with a strong, sustainable business. Are you ready to stop chasing all the shiny things and get laser focused? Put your earbuds in while you're cooking dinner or folding that laundry, and let's get to it, friend. This is one time when multitasking is actually going to be beneficial. Welcome back to another episode of Priorities on Purpose. I'm your host, your girl, Melissa Batt, and today I am kind of digging into this topic of limiting social media a little bit more. The biggest question that I think we have is, how do I show up less when I use it for my business? So a community member, Laura, inside our Real Talk Tribe community, she asked this question, and whether you're listening to this in the middle of the challenge, where we are working on limiting our social media, or you're listening to this like a year later and not during that challenge, I think it's still important to know that a lot of us are addicted to the scroll in social media. And I just want us to become more aware of it and do a better job, right? Do a better job of putting down our phone and being present in our lives. We do not need to be consuming as much information as we do. We are so overstimulated, and it's no wonder that, depression, anxiety, all of that, like our mind never rests. So the question, Laura says, I really like this challenge, although it's hard for me. I've been wanting to get off social media for a while and considered deactivating my Facebook account as it's the only social media I even use. However, I run our social media for work, and Facebook requires business pages to be linked to a personal page as an admin. So I can't not have Facebook. Every time I want to post something for work, I have to log into my personal Facebook, which pulls up my personal feed, and then I get sucked into scrolling. Work has a Twitter account I manage also. I don't even use Twitter personally, but I get sucked into scrolling on that too, because when I log in, it pulls up the main page of trending tweets. Does anyone have any tips for not getting sucked into social media if you can't avoid it entirely? I have taken a break from it in the past when I started spending more time on it than I wanted to, but that's not an option for me at this point. Okay, so I love this question. And I think it's so important that we just talk about this all or nothing thing that we sometimes get into the habit of doing. We think, well, all or nothing. And it's easier when we can do that, and we can do all or we can do nothing. But for most of us, there has to be somewhere in between, not just with social media, but with everything. And so many times I do that. I'm like, I'm going to go big or I'm going to go home. But when I go big, I'm going all in, all the way. I'm doing it all, everything. And then it's not sustainable. So I think that this kind of goes into that type of philosophy and thinking that doesn't serve us. So instead of giving it all up completely, although I totally get why you say that and that you would like to, I think it's important to recognize that that's not an option for you right now. So if that's not an option, how do we move forward? I wrote some notes to kind of talk through this with you guys. So number one, I think set boundaries. If you haven't yet, my guess is you may have already set boundaries, Laura. And so if you've set boundaries, what about those boundaries aren't working? Can you log in and only use your computer? Or can you log in from an old phone versus the phone you use on a regular basis? Can you remove the app versus be on the app? To answer your question specifically, you should be able to go in. So if you want to use your phone and not a computer, or maybe you have to use your phone or whatever the answer is, Business Suites, use the Business Suite. You can download the app. It's called the Business Suite. And when you download it, like, you won't see anything else except for the Business Suite. And so that would help you not get caught up in scrolling your feed. Okay. Another thing that would be beneficial for you is, can you schedule the post? If you are utilizing it for work, and I know a lot of people use it for work, whether it's for your own business or for your job or whatever, schedule your post ahead of time so you can get in and get out. And then maybe you just take 5 minutes to check notifications a day. Boom, done. Or 5 minutes to engage throughout the day. Boom, done. I know it's a discipline issue, right? It's a lack of self-control, which we all, at least I, struggle with. And so setting a timer will help. Using it as a reward if you need to, like, make it fun. I'm going to go in and I'm going to get all this done, and then I can scroll if I want to scroll. My guess is you don't like the fact that you want to scroll or you get caught up in the scroll. I also think that we shouldn't feel ashamed by it. I mean, scrolling can be fun. It is mindless activity that most of us just get caught up in doing more often than we should. And so recognize why you're scrolling, because you're scrolling for a reason. Are you just trying to escape reality? Are you tired? Are you bored? Like, what's the purpose of your scrolling? Is it just like, you have ADD and you just get distracted? Recognize that it's a distraction and then get back onto whatever the task is that you were supposed to be doing, right? So set boundaries, take it off your phone if possible, or use a different phone. Again, use the Business Suite app. If you're using a business page, you can use, if it's a group or something like that, that's where I would say you could have a phone that you don't use on a regular basis, or like you use it and, put your phone up afterwards. Just put it in a totally different room. Uninstall the apps, replace the time you'd be using scrolling with something else that you enjoy better, so you don't have time to scroll. Ask yourself why you're on social media, what's causing the scroll. I mentioned that already. I think that's really, really important. And then also recognize the perks of getting this under control. You're not going to have the brain fog. You're going to be way more productive. You're going to be able to be with the people that are in the room with you. And so get in and get out, set a timer, do it at a specific time when, I used to do all of my social media posts standing up, because then I wouldn't get caught up in the scroll because I'm standing. I just wanted to get it done and done, check, moving on. That could work for you. Another thing that I would do is sometimes when I have to pee, I can't believe I'm saying this out loud. But sometimes when I have to pee, I will hurry up and do a couple of those things that I know are only going to take a couple seconds. So I literally cannot wait because I would pee my pants, right? So I eventually have to walk away, and that's going to break that up. It's really just about almost like creating these little tricks with your brain to allow you to break it up so you don't get caught in the scroll. Or that you get caught up if you scroll first thing in the morning. So you don't allow yourself to do that until after you've done XYZ. I think there's all kinds of things like that you can do, but also recognize that, sometimes a good scroll, it's good for the soul, maybe, depending on who you're following. I don't know. Looking for purpose in it, and recognize that if this is something that you have to do, how can you use it well? This was something that I really started focusing on for myself, because while I don't like social media, I have to use social media is how I have grown my audience, gotten in front of new people, created impact, all of the things. And so if I'm using it, how can I use it well? And for me, it is to recognize that people are going to be on social media, whether I'm on social media or not. And so while, yes, I want people to not be on social media as much, if they're going to be on social media, I want to give them something that's going to be a positive impact and better for them to be listening to, reading, following versus like some of the other junk that's out there, right? Like I want to be a positive in this space versus someone that's making people feel icky or getting them caught up in the comparison or just being negative or whatever else kind of stuff that fills social media. I want to be a positive force and creating that impact. And so utilizing it for good keeps me in check. So I hope that helps answer that question. And if you have any more questions about that, definitely let me know. Hey friends, that's it for this episode. If you found value, I would love it if you could take a couple of seconds and leave me a quick review. While it may seem super simple, it is so beneficial and gives me the opportunity to help more women. Also, take a screenshot and share it on social media with your biggest aha today. Don't forget to tag me at Melissa Batt Official so we can connect. Thank you so much for listening. And until next time, friend, keep walking it out one baby step at a time because God's got you.